All right, welcome back to the channel. We're something might look a little different on the back of this thing. So I had the rear window off of the 150, and we got it fabbed up this week, and I just have it open now just because. But it worked out pretty well. I also bought door seal and put new seals around the doors. I got to work on the latching apparatus because the doors don't want to close real well right now because I got to adjust it. But there you can see I put a piece of flat stock. We welded in a piece of tubing in the middle and then put the hinges on, and the door works, or that window works pretty well. So I'm going to try to do the same thing with these windows right here. This cab's pretty similar, or if not the same, has that 4150, 4180 style cab, and they put wing windows on, the windows that open like this. From the factory, they came with a piano hinge on this backside on the Molines, but they have a slightly different design with a frame around it on the whites, and I'm gonna see if I can, I'm gonna do some measuring, see if that works, and I'm gonna definitely put those on just to get more air travel through the cab. So that's about all I got done on this thing this week. I'm still waiting on to get the tank back over so he can weld the places where it was leaking. Unfortunately, he's busy, and so that's holding me up. And I ran it a couple times this week, no new leaks. So that's good. There's the piece of plexiglass that was on the back of the cab. Also, my top link is froze up. I need to get that freed up. I'm gonna work on that because I think I'm gonna put the quick hitch, the white quick hitch that I have on the 955 on here. So that's about all I've gotten done. I did look a little bit at the leak, the hydraulic leak on the 302, and I don't know, I can't really figure out. I know one place it's coming from for sure. It's definitely leaking here where those control levers for the 3-point in the remotes. I mean, it's leaking there, but this is more fluid on the floor than just that. I did run my hand along the bottom of the pump. It's not wet there. There is just a little leaking from the bottom of where you fill it. And then it is a little wet up here, so who knows. I gotta really delve into that. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I have something else I want to show you. So my friend Justin hit me up a while back, said he had these dual cones, wanted to sell them, and sold them to me. So he dropped these off the other day, came over and was checking everything out. But I really appreciate Justin. He watches the channel, and he's in the area here. He's an AC guy. They pull ACs, he and his dad, and they're really good pullers, and they do a lot. He does a lot with tractor stuff. He's a good tractor enthusiast. But anyway, I appreciated the fact that he sold me these dual cones. Not that I know what I'm going to do with them yet, but eventually here I'll do something with them and put them on something. So that's pretty good. I think what I'm going to do now is I need to do some ditch banks with the jet. So I got the battery charger on it. I need to go move the 950 and the 955 out of the way and get the jet out, and we'll do a little, I guess, trimming today since I can't do much on the A4T. All right, we're over here. I've got the battery charger hooked up to the jet. It's been hooked up for a little bit. So we'll see what happens here. Come on, baby. Nada. Dang it. All right. Gonna have to let that charge a lot longer, I guess. And just messed with the battery cable there. I don't know. Bad connection. Let's fix that. Hang on a second. All right. So bad connection down there, but it needs to charge some more, so I'm gonna let it charge. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get the 950 and 955 out of the way, and we'll get maybe run the 955 over, get the quick hitch off it. And I really kind of wanted to do a little ditch work today with the Sickle bar, but get this big heavy thing off of here, and yeah, see what else we can accomplish. Did a lot of honeydew list around the house yesterday. Washed the whole house with the power washer. Took all the patio furniture out of the barn. Just a lot of work. So tractor time this weekend's pretty limited, but we'll see what we can get done. All right, got the door open, making sure there's nothing in front of the tires so I can drive out. Actually, probably ought to flip this back a little bit. It's got fluid on it. I don't want to drive through it. Neighbor John's nice enough to let me keep stuff over here. This thing's already pee across on his floor a lot, so. All right, Neighbor John just stopped out and talked to me for a minute, and all right, a little bit of fuel. Oh, duh. I was standing here looking at this beforehand. I got this safety switch that I gotta. Oh, come on, man. Work with me here. Come on, baby. Maybe just a little bit more fuel. Beautiful day here, Mother's Day. Took Mom to church and then to lunch. She was very happy. We'll let this run a few minutes. Sounding good. Yeah, there's a whole lot of containers here to catch oil because unfortunately everything drips just a little, marks its territory. Oh, haven't started the 955 in a while, so hopefully I am gonna preheat her just a little to help it kick over. Usually hold it for about 30 seconds. probably aware, but if you're not, we went G900 to G950 to G955. The 900s were an awesome tractor. Just it's around 70, 71. They came out with the 955. Or I'm sorry, the 950. Basically same motors that they were running. They just changed the hydraulics. They put the closed center hydraulics on it. Put the tank up front underneath the bubble nose. So you got the different hydraulic pump there. Although I think they're running that in some of the G900. The 950, they just they kind of updated that a little. You've got different fenders on it. Trying to think what else. They put the 3-speed transmission in it. Put the different lift cylinders on the back. And some other people probably know these things a little better than I do, but take it down to an idle. But all in all, I mean, this is the same thing as the G900, just updated a little. Put the heavier duty front axle on all these. Then when they went to the 955, they put the Oliver rear end in it, 3-speed rear end. Same motor, same front end. They were all flat noses. Since it's a different transmission, they put the same fenders on it that Oliver used, and then the back end of it is Oliver, you know, 3-point, all this is all Oliver stuff. So you can see by looking at the difference in the rear ends, and then you know, 2-speed PTO there, or 2 PTO shafts for 1000 or 540. Over here you've got 540, but you can switch it like you can on the Olivers. Spin it around to get your 1000. Just a pretty easy process. And anyway, these tractors are pretty much the same. I think these are 16-inch front wheels on the front. Those are 15s. They're both running 18.434s on the back. Both, I like driving them both. The transmission, the 3-speed Oliver transmission, is way smoother than the Moline. Now the low's out on this one, but it's got the 3-speed, and the way you can tell a 3-speed from a 2-speed is that plate right there. When it has that plate with all those bolts around it, that's a 3-speed. And they didn't make a whole lot of the propanes in the 950. So this is kind of a more rare tractor, being propane and being 3-speed. 955, they didn't make a whole lot of those either. It's kind of right at the end for Moline, and before White killed the Moline brand. But these are a really good tractor, and I enjoy driving both of these, but the 955 is a super nice tractor to drive, to operate out in the field, whatever. It's a lot of smooth. It's a good motor. In all these, it's a good motor, but coupled with that transmission, they really had a good tractor here. So I'm gonna mess around with the jet a little, see if I can get it started. Here's the cool thing is I idled this thing down. It's idling. Get up here so you can hear it. Right? Look at that rain cap. Just propane runs so smooth. So, okay, I'm gonna go in and see if I can get the jet started. I kicked the charger up to putting out a little bit more, so hopefully we'll see. There we go. Nice. All right, I gotta get down and unhook the battery charger, but good. We can do some sickle bar mowing today. All right, got the jet outside here. Good to get it running again. It hasn't run since last fall. Got the Moline sickle bar on here. I filmed mowing with this before. I am missing a knife clear up at the end, and I was looking at that today. I gotta get some of these rivets and pound those in. I don't have any, but then that will hopefully it doesn't clog up at the end too much today. But in the meantime, I'm going to shut down the 950 and the 955, and I will shut the gas off. We'll come back over and get this thing in a little bit and take it over and take the quick hitch off. And I'm going to drive that home and just go over it a little bit before I go do a little cutting with it. Definitely makes my ditch banks, cuts down on how much I got to weed whack. But I definitely got to fix that end down there where that knife is missing, because that knife causes that end down there to get a little stopped up. Back up and clean that out, and then I'll pick it all the way up. We'll go down the road. I got to get down in this ditch a couple times a year and knock it down, and it's usually with the weed whacker, and it's not a lot of fun. So, all right, I'm gonna clean that out, and we'll go down the road and do a little bit more. So this is why a Moline sickle bar is good, because it'll actually go down an embankment. A lot of other companies didn't make them this way. I forget what they call it when they do that, but it doesn't break anything, so you can definitely do a little bit more with these than you could if it were an IH or so. That back there is my ditch. I hand mow it. This is neighbor John's ditch. It's steeper, it's longer, so try to help him and bring this down here and just knock it down. The township does it a couple times this summer, but it gets pretty overgrown. That's where a big sprayer had I think it blew a hydraulic line last year and dumped a bunch of hydraulic fluid here in the ditch. It doesn't get everything, but it definitely just knocks it down and makes it look a little bit better, which is what we're going for. This little jet is the perfect one, 69 Jet 3 Super. She does a nice job just kind of idling down. I don't want to run it real fast. But definitely the ditch looks better when we're done. All right, I'm gonna have to shut you guys off because when I get up here to this culvert, it takes both hands to make sure I don't mess anything up. All right, got this side done. Got it locked up. Need to do a quick Austin Powers 20-point turn here. Maybe not. There's a car coming, of course. Then we'll go do the other side. Most people, as everyone knows, don't know how to drive around a tractor on the road. Oh, come on. Fifth gear, I'm in low, it should go. Beautiful day. Couldn't have been a nicer Mother's Day. My mom was very happy. Took her to lunch. It's all good. I love these little Jet Stars and 302s. They're just such a handy little tractor. I don't love the muffler on this one though. It's a Stanley and it's loud. I got other Stanleys that are about that same muffler and they're not near as loud. All right, we'll turn in and do the other side. All right. Ditch is done, looks better than it did. Got the sickle bar locked up. We'll go put this away and might take the 955 out for a little spin. Dirty right now. She's been sitting all winter. Actually, I'm going to go into, so I'm in the low range right now. I'm going to go into high range because, so you get it neutral in the middle, pull it down, then you got a whole extra set of gears. We'll go fifth up to the road. I could use the 3-speed, but we'll wait till we get on the road for that. This thing just runs so smooth. Good tractor. I did a little bit of painting on it, but it's mostly all original. And I don't know, really really like driving this, but I like driving the 950 back there a lot too. I am going to do some painting on the 950. I want to do the white. I might do the hoods, the yellow on the hoods too, because there's areas that the yellow's not very good, but the white on it and the white wheels, just to dress it up a little bit, but pretty much it's still all original. All right, 6th gear. And we'll go into direct and then over. Tell it's been sitting all winter. Tires are a little bouncy. I get out on the road and the car's coming. And there's the beauty. I can go back down into low without this thing herking and jerking. Whereas on the 950, that's it lets you know. It gives you a little jerk there that makes you know that you switched. Back this in and take the quick hitch off. Get it kind of close to where I need to be because it's heavy. Closer to the ground, make it easier to take off. And I think I'm going to shut this thing down, so I don't have to listen to it and fill the barn up with fumes while I'm pulling that off, because it isn't going to be fun. But that's going to motivate me. Getting this off and getting it drug over by the back of the A4T is going to motivate me to get that top link freed up. So then I can put it on there and not have it in the way. Old door seal, got to throw that away. Seat pan for these seats, I still got to get the seats made, and more filters. Cabin filter, different filters. But first things first, I'm going to lift this thing off and set it over here close by so that, yeah, this is going to be fun, because on this one, it's a lot easier putting it on the Oliver, because the bottom one's clamp on this. You're gonna have to stick those pins through while you hold it up, and yeah, it's heavy. That's all I can say is this thing's pretty freaking heavy to be by yourself and to handle it around. It's not impossible, but it's heavy. And just to describe better what I was talking about taking this off, so these lift up and open. A lot easier to do with two hands than one. Like that. And so there's a ball that fits in here, and so to take it off, I just open both of these up. On the top link, you pull this and it releases the ball that was up there, which is now on the ground because I just took it off. And then you just pick it straight up and take it off. Pretty ingenious design. down here, you can see there's a ball, and I'll take those off, and they'll stay with the 955, so that the next time that I need to hook up to something, I'm not wondering where my, I'm going to say this lightly, my round 3-point hitch things go, because I don't want to say I'm going to wonder where my balls are, because I know all the jokes that are going to come from that, which I probably deserve. And but anyway, I like to keep them with the tractor. The big thing with that type of hitch on an Oliver or whatever is you don't want to lose your balls, because if you do, then it's really hard to hook up to things. So you want to keep your balls safe and keep them where you know right where they are. And for me, that's generally right here in the toolbox. I even have some extra balls in there just in case. I'm sure there's a technical term for those. I'm just not sure what it is. So I just had a whole lot of juvenile fun. Maybe I've been in the sun too long today. But anyway, then what makes it hard to put it on here is it doesn't have it. So you're gonna have to pick up one side. If you do this by yourself, you gotta pick up one side, get the pin somehow through. Hopefully everything flexes enough to do that. Then you gotta go to the other side, pick it up, get the pin through, get that set. And then you gotta kind of balance it against you and then get the top link on. So it's not quite as easy as it is on the Oliver or 55 series tractors, because the 1355 be the same. I do have a spring there that this would have come with. It actually has clips on there, so you put the spring on to keep your 3-point arms from swinging around and doing crazy stuff. And yeah, so there she is. I think she'll look good on the back of the A4T, and like I said, the weight of that will bring those 3-point arms down when they need to come down. And yeah, I don't know, I was gonna go for a drive, but I lost track of time. It's getting kind of later in the day, and if I do, it will be a very short one. Still debating, but yeah, I'm just like standing here looking at this thing. It's the worst thing about having to store things next door is there are certain times I just stop and I just stand and look at them. And, you know, it's kind of crazy. Sometimes you notice some things that you didn't notice before, but I truly enjoy just looking at the beautiful engineering that takes place. I think Molines are just a beautiful looking tractor. I love that their hoods are long. That's the coolest thing about driving, especially a flat nose 55 series, or I can't wait to see what it's like with the A4T with the flat nose. But looking down that long hood, yeah, it's just the coolest thing in the world. A lot of other tractors have a short hood, and you know, like a D21's a shorter tractor than this is, more horsepower, but this is an overall about the same weight, you know, heavy duty tractor. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple things here and then probably take this back and put it away and put the 950 away and get ready for another busy week of work, which stinks, but gotta get that fuel tank done. Later this week we leave to go to North Carolina, so there won't be a video next weekend because we'll be down in North Carolina almost all weekend. Work thing on Friday, but Mrs. Ohio Emblem wants to go, and we're gonna check out, we're gonna be in Asheville, so we can check out the Biltmore and some things. It's a very beautiful area, cool area. But then when we get back, my goal is to get that thing going soon, because Nick Ohio MM needs to come down and hot rod my tractors. It's been a while, and I think he's really gonna enjoy driving the A4T when it's done. So Nick, if you're watching, it's almost there. Sam Ohio MM is gonna have to come down too with Nick, but Nick and I wants to come spend the night, and he wants to go fishing. His big thing is he likes to fish, so we got to go fishing. Figure I might as well run it down the road just to help the tires out. This thing runs so smooth. And there's that nice long hood I was talking about. I just went down the road. Neighbor Tom came out and talked to me for a minute, but the other thing I was going to mention is the 955 is the easiest tractor to get off and on of probably any Moline. With those steps on it, the grab handles, this thing is so easy to get on. The 950, not so much. Anyway, time to put this thing away. See if I can do this without knocking it over any of the cups that we use to keep the fluid from being all over the concrete. Nice thing is, in low range, this thing moves really slow. In fact, at the fair last year, we had the slow race. And I actually won it on this tractor, which I was surprised because it was so much bigger than everybody else's. But first gear in low range, this thing just crawls. All right. Where we need to be, maybe move forward just a hair. Alright. So my oil pressure's good, everything's good. Got it nice and warmed up. It's good. Good for this thing to get out and run a little bit. Alright. And now we got to get the 950. So I'm about ready to show you what I mean. So when I said I'm going to do a little painting on this, if the other side of the hood looked as good as this side, I wouldn't do a thing to it. But those are pretty rusted. That wheel's not bad. But when you come to this side doesn't look so good. I'm probably pointing you right in the sun, but maybe you can see it better there. But the heat from the exhaust, this side doesn't look good. That rim's pretty rusty. And so paint it white, paint all that white, and I'll probably do the yellow on the hood because the hood's just not in as good a shape. And then when I paint the hood yellow, I'll put new tape on and I will paint this yellow. And after that's painted yellow around the top of the bubble nose, then I'll put the insert in that says white on it. And I think this thing will look pretty good. I'll leave everything else original yellow paint, and I think that that'll look good. One of the things, as soon as the A4T is done, I'm going to probably replace this hydraulic line. Definitely replacing that because that's soft. We'll do the probably have the radiator going through, and then I will the big thing is I gotta get this hydraulic filter. They moved it to the back side. Here it should be on the front side. And then I've also got a leak in that hose that goes between the two cylinders. So I want to clean up the hydraulics. When I do that, all these remotes leak. So I'll fix those, and that will hopefully cure some of my puddles under this thing. but I like this tractor a lot. Just thinking today, see, here's the thing. So getting up on this one, you got a step, you got a little handle here and you got a handle up there, but it's a very narrow thing and you got the tire in the way. So you kind of bounce off the tire as you get up in. It's just not a convenient tractor to get off and on. Just saying. Not nitpicking, just saying. If I had to get off and on a bunch of times in the day, the 955 is much better. But this thing starts nice and runs good. I was thinking today when I'm going to take to Greenville. Greenville's the Parade Gold Rush show. And I'm half tempted to take this and the Propane 302. Two propane tractors that are more rare. Might be what I take over there. I don't know. Still thinking about it. All right. Put this thing away. I do need to kind of look at the steering on this still too, but one thing about having a long hood, it doesn't exactly have the shortest turning radius, although you'd be surprised for having such a long hood how well these things do. Well, just clipped one of my pans, which I was trying not to do. Hopefully I didn't crush it. You can hear the transmission on this thing for sure. There's a pump in there. But in low you don't get anything because low doesn't work. And low I think is mechanical, it's not off the pump. And there she idles like a champ. So shut off the propane. And then getting back off is definitely not as nice as the 955. So, got everything put back in. Definitely good to get out the jet. Got the battery tender on it. And you know, it's should be good to go the next time I go to start it. UB sitting in here, I'll probably put the battery tender on it here coming up just to make sure it's charged up for summer. And the same with the 7302 gas. So battery for the one, Grandpa's 112 is over in the garage. I pulled it, so I'll put it on the battery tender too. And I need to grab my battery charger before I leave today. So anyway, that's probably going to be it for this video. Like I said, I doubt that I'm going to get a video made next weekend just due to our travel schedule. But hopefully soon the next video is going to be the fuel tank back in the A14. We're running that thing around, getting it ready for Nick Ohio MM to come down and hot rod. And then we'll get back to work a little bit on this, and then we'll start focusing efforts on the other A4T to do the motor swap into that here throughout the summer. So appreciate everybody watching. Make any comments if you want. If you got a comment, you're going to Greenville and you have an idea of what I should take there, let me know. Or you comments on anything else. I always appreciate everybody's comments, and we will see you soon. Please like and subscribe, and we'll get back to these Molines here sooner than later.